religion. It's absurd. Get on a plane or I'm pulling the trigger. You'd be on a plane. What has to happen? That mission failed on October 7th.
I thought that we were done with anti-Semitism after the Second World War. I thought that somehow I was naive enough to think that 6 million dead Jews was enough for the world to learn. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, no, you have to understand, like, anybody who tries to rationalize, I mean, I know that I just tried to rationalize it, but it takes on a new face in every generation. There is no logic here. It's just pure Jew hatred that's built into the universe, into the DNA of the universe. It really is. There's no, on October 7th, I said to myself, they live streamed the atrocities. I said to myself, there's no way, like no hypothetical scenario in which the world doesn't stand with Israel after what Hamas did. It was clear to me. I was like, if there's any silver lining, that's it. That support for Israel lasted about a day, right? So after October 7th, you would think people would love us more, not hate us more. It doesn't make any sense. This whole war makes no sense.
How important is Israel to you?
How important is oxygen to you?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's an important question because people like to differentiate between Judaism and Israel as if like it doesn't say Zion, Zion, thousands of times in our scripture and in our prayers, as if you can like Jews but not believe that they deserve a safe haven and a home in their eternal homeland. If you're anti-Zionism, if you're against the movement to bring Jews back home, then you're anti-Jewish. You can't, that differentiation as if it's two different things. It's artificial and it's just bogus. It's ridiculous. They're one and the same.
What's the atmosphere in the U.S. right now? Do you live in the U.S. for the time being?
Thank the Lord I live in Israel.
You live in Israel now, full time. Yeah. Because I assume you travel to the U.S. a lot still, but do you get a sense of what the atmosphere is like there? Do people still support the Jews in like certain areas? I assume like in New York or the places where there are the largest gatherings of Jews, or what's your take on it?
It's shocking to me. It really is shocking to me because what has to happen for people to realize they are no longer safe there? I mean, I say to my friends a very simple thing. I say, if I told you 10 years ago that in 10 years from now, there are going to be anti-Semites in Congress, academic institutions are not going to let Jews walk around freely, Jews are going to be harassed on the streets, the world leading rapper is going to come out with a song called Heil Hitler, Jews are going to be burned alive in the streets of the United States of America, you would have said to me, there is no way that's going to happen in the United States of America. And if that does, you would have said to me, I'm out of there. And here we are. All of those things happened and they continue to happen. And everyone's just sticking their head in the sand as if it doesn't affect them. And you know what? People say, oh, it doesn't affect me. What do you mean it doesn't affect you? Like, drive 5 seconds in your car and you'll bump into, they're everywhere, right? And so even if a person wasn't individually, personally affected yet, since when do you make, life decisions based on, oh, it hasn't affected me? What are you waiting for? You waiting for it, what, to be murdered? Like, look around you, look at the data, look at the numbers. They don't lie. Hundreds of percentages of increase in anti-Semitic attacks. I mean, Jews are 0.25 of the population and 70% of hate crimes against religion. It's absurd. And still, my friends in the States, it doesn't affect me. I don't really know, what do you say to that? Because I say, if I put a gun to your head and I said, get on a plane or I'm pulling the trigger, you'd be on a plane. So that must mean that you don't think that what's happening today constitutes a gun. So what does? What has to happen? I don't know.
Do you feel like the government and the authorities in the United States are taking this seriously enough?
No, but I don't. I've learned enough times throughout history. We don't have to, depend on foreign governments. It never works out well. And that is exactly why Jews need to come back to Israel. Because yes, we had October 7th. Yes, we have a war. I'm not denying that or belittling that. But here we have an army whose mission it is to defend me. And yes, that mission failed on October 7th. But that doesn't mean there's no mission. There is a mission and there's an army dedicated to my safety. Who's protecting Jews over there? No one. We see this day in, day out. Police just stand there on the side as people chant genocide and, intifada, globalize the intifada. They're calling for the murder of Jews. And these cops are standing there. It's insane. It's no other word. It's insane. So, I speak to my friends and I say, I don't know what you're waiting for, but at least if you can't leave now, make a plan. Have an exit plan.
Do you think a lot of Jews are suffering from the boiling frog phenomenon where they don't know that they're in water that is slowly heating?
That's really interesting. I actually just read, Adam Grant, the author, Adam Grant, Give and Take. Anyway, I just read one of his books. He said something fascinating. He said that's actually an urban legend. Like, that's actually not true. Yeah. Like actually scientifically, that's not true. Like, if you put a frog in boiling hot water that's slowly boiling, it will jump out when it's uncomfortable. But if you throw it into boiling water, it will die. Like anyway, he went on and on about it, but that's just a funny anecdote. But yeah, 100%. I mean, they're sitting there and things are getting progressively worse by the day, and they're just like, oh, sticking my head in the sand.
Because you would think that anti-Semitism and that whole atmosphere towards Jews is so bad, it's so terrible. If that was real, that you'd rather just choose to deny it for yourself. Like, it can't be real. It cannot be real, like what we're seeing.
It could be. And by the way, I'll tell you, this is like a tactic when you in general, like, you don't want to do something, you justify, you make justifications, right? And this is what I'm saying. People say, what if we all come to Israel, we'll be an easy target? What, I'm going to run away from America? I got to stay here and fight. It's like, dude, like, if you had spoken to my grandmother in 1935, would you have said to her, stay and fight? Or would you have said, get the hell out? Like, what? Oh, we're going to be an easy target. Yeah, you'll be an easy target, and we have the strongest army in the world defending you here. Like, the excuses, they never end. And I want to say again, this isn't from a place of judgment. Like, I want them to come home because I want them to come home for me, and I think we need them and they need us. And that's the reality. I'm not judging anyone. I understand that it's not so simple to pick up and leave and go to another country. I get that. So again, the way I heard a friend of mine say it is, American Jews are on a business trip, right? When you're on a business trip, you got a nice car, you stay in a nice hotel, you're living it up, but you're on a business trip. Don't forget that you're going home, right? And this is where we're at right now. American Jewry, not only Americans, Jews around the world, forgot that they're on a business trip, and they somehow convinced themselves that they're home, which they're not. And God's making that abundantly clear to them in every conceivable way. Israel's an amazing place to live now. Anti-Semitism's through the roof. You can come here and not lower your quality of life. There's really no real justification for anyone not to come to Israel. Again, with the little asterisk, and this is important, that it's not so easy to pick up and leave. People have circumstances. I get that. So again, have an exit plan.